I know that everyone is probably sick of hearing me talk about the HSTV-L, but I am recording this while it's my birthday, so I'll do whatever I feel like. While Gaijin did fix some things with the HSTV-L, there's still a lot more about it that's broken. For example, its ammunition, XM885, is incorrect in pretty much every single way. For starters, its velocity is way too low. About 10% too low, in fact. In War Thunder, its velocity is 1,463 meters per second. In reality, its velocity was a bit more than 1,600. Gaijin's figure comes from this document, which is a bad source for a few reasons. First of all, it doesn't say what round is being listed here. And second, this is for the Marine Corps' LAV program. For the Marines, punching through the front armor of a tank wasn't a requirement. For the Army, it was. So they likely used a less potent round. The round's penetration is also highly inaccurate. XM885 is noted as being on par with M774. I wasn't sure about this claim before. I thought it came from some sketchy websites. But this claim is repeated multiple times in primary documents. It actually makes sense, because not only is XM885 a DU long-range projectile, but it's also based off of M774, so in reality, it could penetrate around 430 to 450 millimeters of armor. They did want it to go through the front of a T-72 after all. Next is XM885's damage. This is something that was actually fine before, but was nerfed by Gaijin recently. This greatly nerfed both damage and SPAL. It is now impossible for XM885 to kill anything with SPAL. This means that if you want to kill a component, you have to hit it directly with the round. This is difficult enough as it is, but the horrible dispersion of the cannon makes it basically impossible. I'll get back to that in a bit. Here's a fun experiment. Load up the MBT-70 in protection analysis. Now shoot through the side of the bustle with APFSDS. Note that it takes out all the ammo it hits. Now try the same thing with XM885. It only takes out 2 rounds, even after passing directly through all the others. That is absolutely ridiculous. And the dispersion on the cannon is absolutely abysmal. With this cannon, you have to aim for weak spots, but the dispersion throws that out the window. Look at this comparison I did. This is the 105 M68A1, and this is the 75mm XM274. That is atrocious. In a second test, 2 of the rounds flew directly over the target. That's how bad it is. This nerf doesn't make any sense. The XM274's barrel is 72 calibers long, and has an intermediate tube bearing. And not only that, but the fire control system was designed to account for barrel warping. It was noted for being accurate, so it should be at least as accurate as the M68. The cannon is also missing XM884, its proximity HE round. This is practically needed to fight helicopters. The AP does nothing, and neither do the machine guns. They seem to imply that it wouldn't be getting XM884 since it wasn't ready yet, but it was. XM884 was developed alongside XM885, and test fired at the same time. The HSTV-L was designed to be able to defend itself from aircraft, but it really has no means of doing so in War Thunder, not without XM884. The gun depression is still wrong as well. If you look at the stat card, it appears to be fixed, but this is not the case. The front is still limited to -13 degrees, and -17 on a small portion of the sides. It should be -17 on the front, -30 on the sides. The reload rate is still incorrect. Currently, it's 1 round every 1.5 seconds, when the cannon is noted to fire in excess of 1 round per second. I have 4 primary sources and 2 secondary sources that support this. Since the exact figures differ so much, it should fire 1 round every second. The reload rate for the carousel is also way too long. Currently, it's about 15 seconds per round, which is just stupid. The entire loading process was automatic. In the time it takes to load one 75mm round, the new BMP-2 can load 4 external missiles. For the HSTV-L, it takes over a minute to load 7 rounds, and when it takes around 4 shots to kill a top tier MBT, that's not worth a whole lot. The off-road speed is also way too low. It's slower than most main battle tanks, which makes no sense. The HSTV-L has the second highest power to weight ratio in the game, low ground pressure, and a hydro-pneumatic suspension system. All of these combined should make it incredibly fast off-road. In War Thunder, a tank's off-road speed is usually 70 to 80% of its top speed on road. For the HSTV-L, it's 60%, so it should be going around 63 kilometers an hour off-road, when it's currently going 51. The ammo also sits way too high up. So high up, that the HSTV-L can be ammo-racked while in a hold-down position. The ammo here should be in line with the carousel, because it feeds directly into it. Not only is the armor probably wrong in general, since even without applique armor, the HSTV-L is a few tons heavier than the Sheridan, while also being smaller, but it's just straight up missing some armor. It has no armor under the sponsons. Gaijin also thinks that the commander's sight is a gunner's sight, and it doesn't have multiple fields of view, like it should have, making it difficult to spot targets. And finally, both whole crew members could drive and shoot, so the HSTV-L should be able to survive with 1 crew member, but this isn't the case in game. despite them bringing it up on stream. The HSTV-L should have the same thing as the Strv-103. This wouldn't be overpowered, since it gets hull broken most of the time, and that's all I can think to say right now. In its current state, the HSTV-L is just not fun to play. If they fixed all the issues with it, I bet it would be, and maybe its BR of 9.7 would be justified. Anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed the video, and I'll see you on the next one.